It's the final countdown. Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Courtney A. Hemmings, and we are here. It is here, and we are ready for a fireside chat. 50 years of hip hop fashion. Let me go ahead and pause. Yes, I know, 50 years of hip hop. The official anniversary is not until next year. But this year, we decided to get ahead of the curve. I'm saying we, myself and Dr. Adia Winfrey, we wrote an op-ed, 50 years of hip hop fashion. It's a really young homage celebrating all things amazing, all things pioneers and legendary at Moda Museum here in Atlanta. What a wonderful backdrop. As you see, there is an exhibit that is currently up all the way up until March of 2023. So I implore you to stop by, celebrate, and donate because it is a nonprofit. And most importantly, we thank everyone that is watching now because this is going to be a recap for later. We have Chris Shelby.
What's going on, world? This should do Chris Shelby.
He is just a friend. He is a titan in all things fashion and creative, but he's also Yeezy's personal stylist. Let's segue. We also have Minister Server.
Peace and much love, good people out there transmitting live from the planet Earth. I am Minister Server.
I always think that any event that you have to have that foundational element. So Minister Server is coming in because he's a pioneer and he's coming from a spiritual perspective, the hip hop perspective, in all things fashion. And rounding it off, besides myself and Adia Winfrey.
What's going on, y'all? I am Dr. Dia, the mother of hip hop psychology.
We also have Exclusive Game.
Yo, this your boy Exclusive Game, man.
If you're familiar with all of the industry titans in hip hop and just the world abroad, and even here in Atlanta, Rick Ross and Diddy, Jamie Foxx, the list goes on and on. He decided to pause and come and celebrate with us.
My name is Jacoby, and I am a visitor experience specialist here at Moda, the Museum of Design Atlanta. So here at Moda, we define design as something that inspires change, transforms lives, and makes the world a better place. In other words, we believe in design is a powerful agent of change.
Before we get started, I would like to call up Tangeria Willis, the owner of Sustainable Fashion, to say a few words.
I'm the founder of Atlanta Sustainable Fashion Week, and I, along with Upscale Magazine and Moda, put this together for you guys tonight in honor of the 50 years of hip hop fashion. My belief is that hip hop fashion started with sustainable fashion. So that was the birth of sustainable fashion. The creativity, the making it your own, the boroughs that defined who they were by what they wear. And that's what we're going to talk about here tonight. It's all sustainable fashion. It's individuality, your image, your style, who you were, how you define yourselves. And that's what all of you are here tonight. And so I'm looking forward and excited about this panel.
As we move into this awesome panel, I would like to do introductions in no particular order. We will start with our first panelist. He is a native of New Orleans, and he currently lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and serves as a celebrity stylist, rebranding specialist, image consultant, personal stylist for Young Jeezy. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Shelby. Our next panelist is a native of Queens, New York, who is a fashion industry veteran who has an impressive list of celebrity clientele such as Diddy, Future, 50 Cent, Jamie Foxx, Plies, E40, LeBron James, Rick Ross, and more. He's also known for repurposing luxury textiles into some of hip-hop's most notable bespoken apparel. T. Jones, exclusive. Our next panelist is a multi-dimensional storyteller who has built a career creating culture-shifting movements. He's a creative seditionary, design thinker, speaker, writer, and advisor. He is the former academic dean of the School of Fashion at the Art Institute Atlanta, who now spends his time advising brands, companies, fashion weeks, and governments. He's been identified as one of the key voices of global fashion by the St. Lucia Fashion Council and Startup Bootcamp Fashion Dr. Courtney Hadley. So our next guest is a hip-hop life coach who has dedicated over 25 years to the development, growth, and preservation of hip-hop, who believes it is important for people to understand the purpose and importance of hip-hop culture beyond entertainment. He was inspired to start Hip Hop Ministries, which stands for Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People, where he teaches hip hop culture as life strategies for self-identification, self-improvement, self-empowerment, which leads to positive social change. Ladies and gentlemen, Minister Servant. We have some heavy hitters in front of us. And over the last 50 years, hip-hop culture has entered so many spaces, from education to politics. Describe what that has meant for the fashion element.
On the educational level, right? For what I do now, recently, in the past 5 years, I've seen how the youth are so impacted by hip-hop, period. You know what I mean? And how it plays such a big part in what's going on right now in the community, especially when it comes down to violence and everything, right?
Yes.
So my whole thing been recently like, I gotta take it into the schools.
Right.
I recently went to a school, maybe 2 weeks ago? I went and talked to 50 young men that go to a school on the south side of Atlanta. And the first thing I asked these young men were, how many young men in here have fathers in their lives? Only 5 boys raised their hand. 5. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I first walked in, because the way I was dressed, they gravitated towards me. Didn't know who I was. Only thing they saw was sauce, swag. Like, I was fly. So right then and there, I was like, got him. You know what I mean? Got him. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, we have to start utilizing what we have and speaking to these young men, speaking to these young women, and letting them know that we are just like y'all, but we got to show them the positive aspects of how we are what's going on right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I know for me personally, I'm just utilizing my impact in hip hop, my impact in the fashion culture to give back to what's going on right now. I can't give you 50 years of it, but I'm going to utilize what I have going on right now.
And that's important.
My prayer is that it's not about me, but the lessons that I taught, that they do better than you. And you can walk in the room wearing whatever you want to, but be aware that what you wear is the last impression and first. And so I always walk in the room with an authority that, and I can care less what anybody thinks about me. However, when I walk in the room, I am also aware that I have to scan the proximity of what I'm walking into so people can be aware that when they leave, that it's a message that I meant from what I was wearing. And so I think the message for fashion, whether it's 50 years or today,
is that you have to be intentional in how you show up in the room.
Yes.
And so when I listen to MC Light, and I listen to a Queen Latifah, when I listen to a Tupac and Setua Shakur, who is my mentee, shout out Set. When I listen to all these people, and they have a voice of reason. Not only do they have a voice of reason, if you listen to what they had to say, it goes beyond the words, but they wore what they spoke about. And so if we can wear what we speak about and mean it, and not wear a mask, because there's so many people that are not delivered from themselves. And what I love about hip hop fashion in particular, and then I'm gonna digress, is it allows people to wear a suit that is too big and be able to grow into that suit. Our goal today for this panel was to go beyond the surface level of fashion conversation, but it was to go beyond the core of who people are. Because you can speak fashion all day, but if you can walk in a room and still be insecure, that's a problem. But when you can walk in a room and you can have an outfit like a Run DMC, and it's only two that are still remaining, and you can walk in a room and have a KRS-One, Minister Server, and you can have all these other people, and you can walk in a room and I can have on this amazing red frame by Wisdom and shouting them out. Right there. And so when you can wear all these things with your authenticity,
Yes.
and you can walk out the room and out the door and still have the same value system, that's where I'm going with this, and still be able to wear whatever you rock. That's what's important. Not what you wear, but the core of who you are. And so I implore everybody in this room today to allow your inner man to have a wardrobe change. And so what hip hop has given me as I pass the mic, has given me is an opportunity to sit on the panel with Dr. Winfrey, with an exclusive game, with a Chris, with a Minister Server. All of us have different personalities, all of us have different trajectories, but all of us have on a uniform, and all of that is fashion.
Yes.
And so fashion is powerful. And the last thing, I gotta say this, because I may not have an opportunity to say it again, so I'm gonna say it now. So what I have to say about this, and this is truly the educator in me, is because I did not get a chance to go to school for fashion, but life was my school.
Wow.
So now there are individuals that are going to school, that are in high school, that are graduating, that want to graduate and go to school for fashion or have a mentor that is in this space. If we do not lean back and reach and help them, that's a disservice. Because the 50 years of hip hop will no longer be. Because the next conversation should be 51 and 100.
So my next question is, in the last several years, the rise in crime and violence against rap artists have dominated headlines, raising alarm about rap lyrics. How can fashion positively influence that?
30 some odd years ago, when we had to stop the violence movement, it was because the artists that was in there, what they were wearing, how they were wearing it, young people wanted to be a part of it. You know, the whole thing about young people is we have to let them lead. We say, teach them well, and let them lead the way. We have a hard time doing that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but when we let them lead the way, they're like, you know, like Dr. Dia's son is here, and he's a fashion designer. You know, so it's like, if he has something that's fresh, then the people around him are going to want to do it. So as Dr. Dia said, everything is political. So just put something on a t-shirt, on a hat, you know, makes things change, and young people can lead the way in that. So when you're talking about the violence, you know, this coming Thursday at APS, the students are doing the Stop the Violence rally. And we're asking all the adults if you can come out to 55 Trinity to support these young people, because they're sick of the violence as well. Right. You see what I'm saying? And we also know that we've allowed the corporation to create this imbalance in the music and in the imaging. So, you know, if we talk about rap is something you do and hip hop is something you live, and it bleeds over to that in real life, then we as the adults have a responsibility, I believe, to at least give them different solutions.
Right.
Allow them to be young. I raised 6 children in this culture, and ain't none of them rappers. But all of them were raised in this culture, and all of them are good people making good choices. And as parents, that's all we want for our children, word? That's all we want. The good people make good choices. But when it comes to the fashion part, we have to politicize our young people to to give them knowledge of themselves, to understand that hip hop was created to save our lives.
Yes.
When we say rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live, hip hop saved my life. Those are not just cute sayings. Those of us that are over 40 can relate to that in a real way. No matter what your occupation is, you were influenced by the culture.
Education, but at the end of the day, it's Instagram.
Yeah.
It's killing us.
It's
You know, I'm just speaking out what I see. My son is so tied up in this Instagram and saying he's so tied up in Instagram and trying to see what these people doing. Let me speak. And my son looking up at all these rappers on Instagram and thinking they really doing that, but his dad is really doing it in real life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I got $4 million worth of cars on my drive. I ain't trying to capture nobody, I'm just telling y'all the truth. But my son is on Instagram watching, I don't want to say no rap names, you know what I'm saying? That's my lifestyle, how I eat. But he's seeing all this stuff, and excuse my, it fucks his mind up, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like social media does play. Social media plays a big part of it. You know what I mean? It plays a very big part of it.
And when you see these guns, you talking about the violence, talking about the violence.
Yeah.
You go on Instagram, you see a gun in 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Back in the day, before you're not seeing guns like that. Like visually, you've seen all the little boys holding guns, and guess what? The suburban kids want to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? My son wasn't born in the streets, but he see these guns and he want to flash them. He might go. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. He might say, I got guns. He might want to go take a picture of one of my guns and show it to one of the kids at school, and then that shit cool. And I'm looking at you a fool. Yeah. You can make a rhyme and shit. But I'm just saying for real. Like I feel like Instagram is just instant. You know what I'm saying? I can take whoever. I don't know how to explain myself. I'm not a big talker as you see, but you can take. I can take anybody in the room, pull up a $1 million car, take a picture. Yep. That's it. They believe that. Instant gratification. And that's what I feel like what messed the world up. Even with the money being made. As far as like if you're a designer, you post something on Instagram, people go do the same thing tomorrow. Before back in the day, you're not really seeing it. The only people you're seeing is the people that's around you. Right. When you hustling, you really hustling for real. Right.
When we were growing up, it was very attractive to come from the mud and go to the palace.
Exactly.
It was attractive. It was attractive to dust yourself off and be able to walk in rooms that will never allow you to come in. Yeah. But with this generation, unfortunately, it looks like they come from better situations than we came from, but it's something so attractive to them about slapping someone's head off, about pushing them down. And my God, guns are permanent. 9 times out of 10, when a gun goes through your body, it's going to destroy you. And for some reason, it does not click that, oh, this is such a final decision over a few minutes. We used to can fight and still be friends a week later. And watch this. If anybody are in their 40s and above, you probably can attest to this. There was some of our best friends we used to fight every day. Some of our best friends grew up and we became the best of friends, but we fought every day. And we have to get in where we fit in with these people, with the young people, and begin to redirect their passions and let them know that there is a better and a different way. But one thing we have to be careful of, you will never cure what you constantly criticize. And we cannot beat these young people down with criticism and expect them to be cured by what we have.
You don't want to be what they want you to be. No, forget about this. Look at this jacket this guy's wearing. That is amazing. Look at his hat. Salute, brother. That's what life is about. This is what I grew up in. Nobody, if you had it, I don't want it. Not zealous about, he got it, I gotta go get it. Little bit of that. You want to mix it. You want to incorporate it. You want to bring it to its natural text. You want to make it your own. And that's what Gil Price specializes in. Teaching the kids that the kids are violent because they're bored. It's our job to give them something to do. And fashion can fill that blank. It's a blank there. It's a blank there. And they go and resort to that blank with the Instagram. Forget about the blank. They have to feel confident about going out in the world. Go out in the world and be the best that you can be. That's what the life is about. You only live one of them. It's about taking it to its full potential and being the best that you see it all. And then you will see that once you get past that self-esteem and you're able to let it out, the world appreciates it. And that's what I want to share. Let the world appreciate who you are. All of you guys.
Did y'all enjoy tonight? We got all these people. I want to make sure everybody follow Atlanta Sustainable Fashion Week.
ATLSFW. Make sure you follow ATLSFW. That's Atlanta Sustainable Fashion Week.
Moda Atlanta. And Moda, what's the official hashtag?
Moda ATL.
Moda ATL. Can we make all this a trending moment tonight?
Yes.
So do me a favor. I need for y'all to stand real quick. Don't move though. Just stand. Y'all are amazing students. And our hashtag for tonight is Hip Hop Fashion 50. Let's say it again. Hip Hop Fashion 50.
I am Tangeria Willis, and I'm the founder of Atlanta Sustainable Fashion Week. I am so excited to be here because 50 years of fashion, hip hop fashion, oh my God, it is everything. So it's everything to me because their identity and what they did with fashion was so amazing. It defined who they were, it defined the boroughs they were from, it defined what they did. They made fashion creative, they made it fashionable, they made it stylish, and they made it mainstream. Can't beat that.
Yo, this is Sheldon G. Horton, and this was an amazing night. We did 50 years of hip-hop fashion with some of the heaviest hitters in the building. We are coming to a city near you, so please look us up. This is a lifestyle. This is a movement. We heard from some of the most incredible voices surrounding hip-hop, from the psychological theories to hip-hop, all the way down to some of the most prominent bespoke designers in the culture. Look us up. It's 50 years of hip-hop fashion. We are coming to you.
Hip-hop, 50 years for me, because I do represent so many different elements. We talk about hip-hop as a higher infinite power, healing our people. So 50 years to me shows that God is with us. The ancestors are with us. These elements, breaking, MCing, graffiti, DJing, beatbox, fashion, those are elements that have been around forever. But for us to be here 50 years later celebrating, we can't claim credit by ourselves. God is with us. So when I think about hip-hop 50 years, I think about how we just at the beginning. While it seems like we've done a lot, when you look at hip-hop culture in 50 years, it's not even really a blip on the timeline of world history. So imagine what we're going to do in the next 50 years. Imagine what's going to be done in the next 100 years. So think up to all the people that are celebrating 50 years of hip-hop culture, not corporations. Corporations don't come till a little bit later. That's another conversation. We're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop culture. So big up to all the people out there. Salute.
When I think of 50 years of hip-hop and fashion and how much stand alone by itself, hip-hop has just been a part of my journey in the fashion industry, because starting as a youngin' following cats like Cash Money and No Limit. You know, I'm from New Orleans, by the way, so just follow those cats, just the fashion behind, you know, hip-hop streetwear has played a big part to who I am now, and I tend to, give that to, the artists that I deal with right now. So it's mixing creative, it's mixing fashion, and it's a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? When I think of fashion and hip-hop, this is combined together because it's all the creative aspect, you know what I'm saying? It's all about being a creative and whatever it is, from being a poet to being an artist, to being a stylist, to being whatever the case might be, a graffiti artist, to everything. It's all about the creativity behind the word hip-hop.
I appreciate y'all for the award, Hip Hop Fashion. This event was dope, man. I'll see y'all soon in the next city.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. B, aka The Money Chick, and I have been so inspired by hip hop and fashion. One of my favorite groups was Salt and Pepper. I loved Salt and Pepper because I love Spinderella. I always thought it was so dope that they had a woman spinning and doing the mixing on the mixing tables. I loved their earrings. I used to love their hairstyles. You can see my hair is kind of funky like theirs was. I also loved, when I was growing up, listening to Tupac and listening to Biggie Smalls. I still listen to them today because I felt like that music during that time had a story behind it and it had a message. It wasn't about violence, but it was really just talking about our culture as people and their experiences and what they went through, and it was something I think we can all relate to. So again, this is Dr. B, aka The Money Chick. I love hip hop and fashion. I still listen to it today, and I was excited to attend this amazing event. Be great.
Hip hop has played a very, very vital part in who I am as a person, as a character as well. Growing up, all I had was Word Up magazine. All I had was the stories of my mom and my big cousins who went to all the concerts and all the early hip hop arena things that was going on. And so, of course, growing up in the 80s, of course, I'm a hip hop baby. You know what I mean? So, of course, hip hop has really shaped everything about me, from mind to how we move, to how we handle business, to everything. So, of course, we're here to celebrate 50 years of hip hop.
So kind to all the visionaries, because yes, you can change the narrative one way at a time, so we thank you for that. I would be remiss if I don't thank some other strategic partners, such as Mad Scientist. Listen, thank you so much for your work, for your craftsmanship, and just for being. I just celebrate you for all this videography that you're making, front, pre, and post. I'm so excited about that. Rennie Dior, listen, you're so amazing. Listen, you did all that spanning up and doing those pictures and what? I can't believe it. We have to have you on the team to stay. Unique Photography, listen, I celebrate you as well. Thank you so much for coming in and just having that ability to say yes. Creative Captures, I am just in love with all of your imagery. Thank you so much again for lending your talent. May all of you all be rewarded 100-fold. And most importantly, can I celebrate Mr. Sheldon Horton? You are doing an amazing job in the sphere of moderation. And beyond that, I just pray that this catapults you to the next level of purpose. So anyone that I miss, I celebrate everyone. And I also have to say this, y'all, I couldn't do it without publicists and all these other talent that's here in Atlanta and abroad. So I'm gonna give a special shout out to Bentley PR, Martell PR, Tharp, just everyone that is really here to support. And Crown Me. Crown Me's made a pit stop, y'all. And Wisdom Eyewear. They came. This is what I'm wearing right now. I cannot believe that they're supporting. You never know who's watching you, right? So continue to be you. Continue to walk in person. And Genius Jewels, I will never forget you as well. Thank you for always showing up, being my helpmeet. And you're often on the front end, but you really were that helpmeet for me, and I couldn't have done this without you. So thank you so kindly, and I support everyone. And guess what? Hip hop is here to stay. Check out the fit. I know you're ready. Yes, and we're ready. See y'all later. Bye bye.
Got you tulips in a twist. Hand up boss like communist. No, I can never ever get back all the things I missed. But I'm that man that think you got the gist. Got you tulips in a twist. Hand up boss like communist. No, I can never ever get back all the things I missed. I'm that man that think you got the gist. Hey.